boy.
I love God of War, and I love tabletop miniatures games. So that's why in this video, I've decided to turn God of War into a board game. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to A Hero's Escape, your place for all things Heroscape. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel dedicated to my favorite game of all time, Heroscape. This is a great tabletop miniature strategy war game that has an awesome terrain system that you can actually use to build your own boards and scenarios. Recently, I've been really hooked on 2018's God of War reboot. And so I got the idea, why not try to do a video where I turn that into a game of Heroscape? Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty difficult challenge. I did not expect it to be as challenging as it was, but I really struggled with it. But the first thing I had to do was create my custom Kratos and Atreus miniatures, as well as army cards for their units. So if you don't know anything about Heroscape, these army cards are basically just the stat cards that are used to show the stats and abilities of all the units. For a normal game of Heroscape, you would have an army of many different units, but for this, we're only using just Atreus and Kratos against all of the other enemies. You can actually check out one of my previous videos where I went through the process of designing these custom units, and I showed myself painting the miniatures as well. This was very fun to do, more fun than actually trying to adapt the game to Heroscape because it was pretty challenging. So the next thing I had to do was build the board, and I actually thought I was recording when I started building the board, but unfortunately I did not hit the record button, so I have to pick it up about halfway through the process. I have a lot of storms here. There's a bunch of tornado warnings and stuff, so I was kind of racing against the clock because I was afraid I was going to have to go and take shelter for the night, and so I wanted to get this done. Alright guys, well my bad. I completely forgot to press the record button when I started building this, but I will do it from this point. I'm having a really difficult time. So I am not overstating it when I say that this is a serious challenge. This is extremely difficult. The map on God of War is not particularly easy to read, so I'm having to just walk through the game and build stuff as I do it. And I've even gotten to the point where I'm running out of pieces and I'm just taking liberties of, like, there's jungle trees rather than, it's just so challenging. But here's the area where you start the game, then you go into this first woods area where I'll put more trees and stuff in there in a bit. There's a little waterfall that leads you to that staircase thing, which takes you up to another open area, and then there's going to be a bridge that takes you to another one, and then finally you get to that spot that splits off into three directions. I'm only building one of them that goes to that little fortress area, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to pull that off with not a lot of pieces remaining. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. As I was building the board, I very quickly learned that I did not have anywhere near enough pieces to make what I was trying to do. And my goal here was to make the entire starting area from the God of War game all the way up until when they fight the troll. So this did not work out very well. I thought I was going to be able to build the fortress area, but unfortunately, although I had plenty of castle pieces, I didn't have enough actual terrain pieces to build the area where it starts at the top and then descends down. So by this point, I kind of decided I'm not going to be able to do a very faithful recreation of the starting part of God of War, and as a result, I just decided to do the best I could with making the map, and then from that point, just place a bunch of different enemies on the board that could represent some different enemies from the God of War game. So we have the zombies to represent the Draugr, we have the Anubian wolves to represent those wolf creatures that you sometimes come across in the game, and we have this frost giant to represent the troll, And then I added a Valkyrie in there just for fun because there's a lot of Valkyrie in Heroscape, and there happens to be a lot in God of War as well. They are actually the most difficult enemies in the game, I think, at least from my experience. I haven't beaten the game yet, but that's what I've seen. Anyway, I really wanted this to work out well, but it was so challenging. It was even more challenging than my Sekiro recreation. Definitely go and check that video out too, because I think that one worked out actually quite a bit better than this one. But nonetheless, I gave it a try. And here is my playthrough of trying to actually play the God of War game using Heroscape and Heroscape rules. Alright, this video is actually turning out to be a bit of a burden because it is taking so long to get all this stuff done, and with the storm outside rolling in close, I feel like I need to get it done fast because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be filming this. So here's how it's going to work. So on this side here, we have the starting area with Kratos and Atreus' cabin. There they are right there. They move along. They come to this big open clearing. They would go through a little wooden fence here. And then once they come into here, there's that little waterfall area there, a snowy path that leads this way. And if I'm not mistaken, they start fighting Draugr somewhere in here. But I just went ahead and took the liberty of just building. As you can see, I tried to stay faithful to the game as best I could. Because here is the staircase that leads up, and then it would be a little broken spot there. They would jump across to another clearing, and then there's a bridge that comes to yet another clearing. And then this is the little thing with the multiple paths, the little structure. But I was running out of pieces, so I started having to take creative liberties through this, just using jungle trees and all kinds of different things, and I ended up having to make all the sections way smaller just so that so I would have enough pieces to even get this done. By the time I got to about here, I decided I'm not even going to do the big fortress area where you fight all those Draugr. I really wanted to, but I have plenty of castle pieces, but I don't have enough of the actual land to make the inside of it where you start higher up and then you go down the stairs. So I don't know. It got to be so challenging, and it was really hard to recreate this map from the game because honestly, the game's map is just not that good. When you open up the map in the menu, it's really hard to follow. So my goal for this was to do the whole starting area all the way up to when they fight that troll. But I also, this is what the troll is for me. This frost troll, frost giant thing, that's going to be the troll. But I also placed a Valkyrie in here because Heroscape has a bunch of Valkyrie, and God of War, you have to fight a bunch of Valkyrie, so I thought that would be cool, even though this is not going to be anywhere near as difficult as the God of War Valkyrie. And then here are those wolf things that you fight in different parts of the game as well. So that's the idea. We're just going to run it and see how these custom God of War units are going to work out against normal Heroscape units. So here we go. Starting off, it's just Kratos, Atreus. They both have 5 moves. For this game, I am basically just using Heroscape rules, and that's because I designed Heroscape cards specifically for these guys to try and work the way I want it. So Atreus and Kratos are making their way. It's so funny how tiny this little figure is that I use for Atreus. But here we go. And they come around the corner, and there's a bunch of Draugr. Oh no. They're there. Atreus and Kratos came around the corner and spotted a bunch of Draugr. All right, so now we are going to, I think how I want to do this maybe is just do the initiative rolls, but not use the order markers. So the black one is for Kratos and Atreus, the other is for the Draugr. And the Draugr wins, so they're coming in for the attack. Okay, so these are just the zombies of Morandan, and they have horde movement. You may move up to 6 zombies of Morandan that you control each turn. However, you may attack with only 3 zombies. Okay, so then we have Zombie Onslaught. 3 zombies of Morandan on the same level may combine their attacks and roll their attack dice as 1 attack, kind of like in the video game. All zombies of Morandan in the attack must be engaged to the targeted figure. And of course, zombies rise again. If a zombie of Morandan that you control destroys an opponent's smaller okay, we're going to hope that doesn't happen. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's what we're looking at there. So now the first Draugr is attacking Atreus. Oh no. So that Draugr has 2 attack. Atreus has 3 defense. Here we go. Okay, Atreus did successfully defend, which is good because he only has 1 life. But now we're moving over to this side, and we're going to take a turn with Kratos. And I think that's how I'm going to do this. It's just take a turn, something like that. So, well, actually, Atreus' summon special ability that I created, we're going to use Atreus and use that. So, the first target of summon special ability, it's basically Zenithrax's Erupting Earth. So that's what we're going to do. And so it starts out with 4 attack against the zombies, 3 defense. And the first one failed. So, as the attack says, after attacking something, you may choose a figure that was adjacent. Okay, so here we go. We have to go down to 3 attack now. Wow. This is crazy. The zombie defended. Okay, now we move on to the next one. Okay, that time we got it. I know that was 2 attacked, so just count that as theirs. But that time we got it. We successfully killed this one. And we can do that up to a total of 4 attacks. So we have 1 more. So we're knocking this down to only 1 die. And here it is. Okay, zombie defended. Now it's the zombie's turn. I'm debating if I should take a turn with... I think we get to take a turn with Kratos and Atreus at one time. I think that would make it more fair. So Kratos is going to use Axe Throw Special Attack on the zombie directly in front of Atreus. And instead of a normal attack, so it's a attack 3, range 5. Let's see if we can get another zombie. Failed. Oh no, we did win. That's okay. They got no shields and we got 1 skull. So here's that one is dead. Okay, moving on. We have now back to the zombies. So this one moves in, bam. They're all moving in for the attack. This one's attacking Atreus. All right, here's the roll. Atreus defended successfully. Now we move on to, let's see, the zombies move 4 spaces. I'm wondering, they could have moved up higher, but okay, so Atreus will again, oh no, it's once per round, so a round is 3 turns, so he can't use summon special attack, but he can use choke, which gives him 3 attack. So here we go. Oh man, zombie defended, so Kratos uses Axe Throw Special Attack. Here we go. Okay, failure. Now the zombies attack Atreus. Hey guys, so at this point I got to thinking that just showing this entire uncut video this way would probably, a lot of people would lose interest. So I think maybe a better way to do this is just to show some highlights from the playthrough. I really need to find a better way to do these types of videos in the future because I feel that this concept of recreating video games as board games is actually really cool, or recreating them within the realm of Heroscape, essentially. I think it's a great concept. I just need a better way to put these videos together. So if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know in the comments how I can do that. Wow, these rolls are something, huh? Now the low zombie is attacking Atreus. Okay. Atreus is using choke. And that's a success. Kratos is using axe throw. And that is a success. Alright, the Draugr have been defeated. Okay, now they are going to move along. I'm not going to show the whole thing of them walking, but they're going to come up here to fight these wolves. So right here, we will go ahead and roll the initiative. And Kratos and Atreus succeed. Here we are, fighting these wolves. And we get the head start here. So Kratos is going to move close to the first wolf. And he is going to use boy. Boy says after moving and before attacking, Kratos may use boy. Kratos may, when this is done, Atreus uses Talon Bow against an enemy engaged with Kratos. So I forgot to put on Atreus's card what Talon Bow means, but it's just a normal ranged attack. So little Atreus there is going to use his normal ranged attack against this wolf. And we will see if it does anything. And it does not. So now Kratos gets to attack, but the wolf has height advantage. I suppose Kratos would have just moved up here, so that would make sense. So 4 attack against 4 defense. Wow. This is going to be a tougher fight. Ooh, failure. Moving on. Now it's Atreus' turn. He is going to run up to the wolf to use choke. That'll be 3 attack versus 4 defense. Failure. Now it's the wolf's turn. This is bad. Before moving, roll the 20-sided die. This is their Unleash Fury ability. Here we go. And it is an 18. Oh my lord. That means add 4 to the attack value of the card. So, okay, now they're moving. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 of these are attack. Well, all of them are going to attack Kratos, but they get to add 8. Oh, that's a 20. So add 4 to the attack value of the card. That's crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus Kratos is 3 defense. Okay, that is 1 damage to Kratos. He has 5 total life. So we're gonna put a wound marker on him. And now the next wolf attacks. Okay, that's another wound. Now the third wolf attacks, but Kratos has height advantage. Oh my god, that's another wound. This is not going so well, guys. Now we're on to our hero's turn. So Kratos is going to use boy. Or he could use Guardian Shield in place of an attack. That buffs his defense for the next time he's attacked. We'll just use boy. Actually, no. Okay, he is going to use Guardian Shield. So in place of attacking, Kratos may declare use of Guardian Shield. When this is done, roll 2 extra defense dice when next attacked. And he's going to use boy. So that means that Atreus is doing a ranged attack to one of those wolves there. Oh, he succeeded. He took out a wolf. I can't believe it. Okay, now it's Atreus' turn. He's using Summon Special Attack. Gives him 4 attack. And it travels along the enemies. So the first one, okay, that was a failure. We get rid of 1 attack die. Second one, oh, that's a success. Wow, Atreus is pulling it off. Oh wait, he's over here. Okay, now it's the wolves' turn. And so we're going to roll this. It's an 8, which means they get 2 extra attack. And then these 2 wolves here are going to move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of these wolves are attacking with 3 attack versus Kratos. Wow, that's 2 wounds. Kratos is about to die. Oh, wait, I forgot that. My bad. I forgot he used that ability, so he gets 2 extra defense dice this turn. I have to re-roll that. Okay, so he succeeded on that one, but now we have to do the next one that's attacking. Okay, we're good. Moving on to Kratos' attack. So before moving, he's going to use boy. And that's going to be a normal ranged attack. Oh, he took a wolf out. This is crazy. Atreus is doing work. Now Kratos' turn. Regular attack against the wolf. Here we go. That was a failure. Now it's the wolf's turn. We got to roll the 20-sided die. 13. So that puts him at 3 extra attack dice for the turn. And this one's running up here. Okay, here we go. This is going to be bad. Well, Kratos takes a wound. Okay, and now the other one attacks. And Kratos is dead. Okay, so they did not defeat that encounter, but let's move on to some of the other ones just so we can see how they play out. So let's say we defeated those guys, and we're going to fight the Valkyrie. Alright, here's our encounter against the Valkyrie, and notice how Atreus is always running ahead, just like in the video game. So the Valkyrie is here, but we just get the initiative because that's how it works in the video game. So we're going to get to go first. And Kratos is going to move through Atreus to come over here. And with height advantage, try to attack this Valkyrie. The Valkyrie has 3 defense and Kratos has 5 attack for this one. Wow. 4, 5. All right, here's our roll. Oh, wow, he did a lot of damage. 4 damage to the Valkyrie right off the bat. The Valkyrie only has 1 life remaining. And then it's Atreus' turn, who's going to use Choke. All right, so 3 against 3. Here we go. Okay, and the Valkyrie is dead. So, amazingly, they defeated the Valkyrie just instantly like it was nothing. So, for this to make sense, I would have to do a lot to work this out differently. But then we can move on to the giant and see how this combat goes. So here we are down here, and we'll go ahead and roll our initiative against the giant. And okay, we got the successful initiative there. Let's see what happens in this engagement. So Kratos is going to run up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to then... He is then going to use boy. And Atreus is going to shoot the giant. Now, the giant has some abilities. If this frost giant is attacked with a normal attack by an opponent, figure, and receives enough wounds to be destroyed, roll 3 attack dice, 1 at a time for each skull rolled. It also, as if this frost giant begins the turn unengaged, add 2 to its move value. Okay, so anyway, here we go. 2 against 4. And okay, it defended, and now Kratos gets his attack. 4 against 4. And that is 1 successful wound on the giant. Oh, no, it's not. 2 successful wounds on the giant. Okay, so the giant's down to 4 life. Now it's the giant's turn. It's going to attack. After attacking with the frost giant, roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 60 or higher, you may attack again. Okay, so it's 4 versus 3 for this attack. And here we go. Okay, that was a defense. Now we roll the 20-sided die. Okay. Now Kratos' turn. He's going to use boy. Okay, failure. But now Kratos gets his regular attack. So 4 against 4. And as a failure, now it's the giant's turn. Well, I guess Atreus should be having a turn too. So he'll run up and use choke on the giant, which is pretty funny. And let's see how we do. That is a wound. No, that is 2 wounds. So that puts the giant down to 2 life. It's almost dead. Now the giant attacks. And that is a successful wound against Kratos. And he gets to roll for his battle frenzy. Okay, failure. Kratos attacks. Well, he'll use boy. Okay. And now Kratos' normal attack. And that is a successful wound. The giant only has 1 life left. Atreus uses choke. Failure. Giant's attack now. Defended. Now he gets attack frenzy. Okay. Kratos uses boy. And there it is. The giant falls. And then he has an ability that, yeah, basically roll 3 attack dice. So we'll see how many wounds we get, basically. 1 wound. Okay. But that's the game. Yeah. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching that video. Needless to say, it did not go the way I really hoped it would. I'm sure you guys can give me all kinds of ideas in the comments of how to make this better. And if you want me to make it better and see a revised version of this in a future video, let me know in the comments. But otherwise, if there's any other games you'd like to see me recreate, let me know that too, because I really enjoy doing these recreations. I think it's pretty cool. But if you're looking for more Heroscape content, hit the subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. And if you want to interact with my community of subscribers, join my Discord server. The link to that is in the description of this video, as well as the About section of my channel, where you can also find links to my merch store and my fantasy novel, The Price of Renewal. But I'll see you guys in the next video.